Vampyr. Just are a bit between a rock and a hard place. Some people say we shall make Aloysius Dawson a vampire, but others warn us of him because he's not the nicest kind of person, so they don't want us to do it. So I'm curious if we even have the chance to make him vampire or not. Or if this will be a one-way thing anyway. I mean, it's the main decision in the game. I could imagine. I think the choice things so far are more like citizen stuff, you know, side missions and stuff. You can kill citizens or not, but this main story so far does not seem to be more than one way-ish. So
I cannot enter.
Not sure if we will have to make a choice.
Kneel, traitor! Give me your blood! You shall learn to...
Louise's father was determined to find and save her.
Yeah, I know I went to the same places now several times, but well, now we explore everything. Oh, this might be a riddle.
It's locked. It's locked, all right. Miss Teasdale, are you all right?
How do you know my name? Who are you?
My name is Dr. Reed. I managed to track you down thanks to your father.
So my father really was looking after me. This man, this vampire told me my father was dead. Is it true?
I'm afraid so, miss. I'm so sorry for your loss. But you are free to go, as your abductor is no more.
I suppose my jailer also killed my father, didn't he?
Thankfully, he did not search your father's corpse, where I found his notes describing where he might find you. You should read them.
I must find my father's body. He deserves a proper burial.
Goodbye, Miss Teasdale, and be careful. Until we meet again. You should return to a safer place, Miss Teasdale. What's more, I'm not sure you should see your father in his condition. He was savagely disfigured.
Thank you for your sympathy, Doctor. but I recently learnt to stare horror in the face.
Goodbye.
I always like those advices in loading screens. Those things you just know from the beginning, but they still tell you this good advice. Use the workbenches and hideouts to craft new treatments and serums, or to upgrade your weapons. Wow, great, thank you for telling me this when I'm at level 30 or something. And like 80% through in the game, or 70, I'm not sure. 70 to 80% maybe, and yeah, thanks. Now I know that I can craft and upgrade my weapons. The Temple Church. I was at the Temple Church myself in London. Okay, I was at other places, but Temple Church, I was there because there are these books from Dan Brown, the Da Vinci Code and Illuminati. I think it wasn't the Da Vinci Code. I mean, I read the books way before they were cool and before they before they made the movies. I did not even watch the Illuminati movie, maybe I watched it later, but I didn't like this Da Vinci Code movie so much. But the books, they were quite good, were alright. And part of the books of the Da Vinci Code, I think, was set in the Temple Church. This is why I visited it. I was in London. But it was closed. And then I wanted to go to Westminster Abbey, because Westminster Abbey there also is also happened something in Da Vinci Code, but they wanted I don't know, £10 or £15 for entry, and it was back in the days where we didn't have smartphones and stuff. They did not exist back then. By the way, why did I go through the sewers to leave? Got to get here. But, well, yeah, so I wanted to make pictures with my photo camera, and they said no, cameras are allowed because of the flash. And I said I can take pictures without the flash, and they said no, and then I said fuck you. did not go to Miss Abby.
Good evening, sir. May I ask you what you're doing here at this late hour?
I'm conducting an investigation about the epidemic in this part of town.
And who are you, sir?
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed from the Pembroke Hospital. May I ask who you are and why all the questions?
I'm Detective Inspector Charles Albright from Scotland Yard. And I don't find your answers convincing. What is a Pembroke doctor doing in the West End at this time of night?
I work for the Ascalon Club. Here is my permit to go freely about the city.
The Ascalon Club? You should have said so, sir. I must warn you, these streets are dangerous, and you'd better be careful.
What are you investigating, exactly?
I have a missing woman, possibly abducted a few nights ago. Louise Teasdale. It seems you already found my other missing person, Mr. Tadao Kimura.
Tell me about Louise Teasdale.
She's a waitress. Her father reported her missing. We don't have enough men to search for her, sadly.
Do you have any idea where she could be?
No. But I feel she's been abducted. She went to a pub a few nights ago and vanished.
What a doom, man. What a doom.
What can you...
I'm the one asking question.
What killer?
I'm not going to discuss that with a civilian, sir.
Haven't I told you about the investigation I'm conducting?
All right, without giving you too much information, I'll tell you this. I'm convinced there is a homicidal maniac on the loose, using the epidemic to disguise his kills.
And what about the epidemic?
We both know the situation is critical, don't we, Doctor? Colleagues of mine die almost every day.
Why are you investigating at night?
Criminals rarely act in daylight, you know. But since you are also a night worker, have you noticed anything strange, which requires police attention?
Does the name Fergal ring a bell? Fergal Bancher.
Of course it does. Fergal Bancher, the Butcher of Galway. Hung in Dublin in 1857 for murdering more than 20 men with his bare hands. Why are you so interested in dead criminals, sir?
Why...
Criminal.
Does the name...
Of course it...
What are you really doing here?
I told you. I'm a detective inspector from Scotland Yard.
What about the situation?
I know, it's a shame, but we just don't have enough men to cover the entire city.
Do you work alone?
Yes, the situation is difficult for the police. Many of us are sick, and since the summer strike, most men are...
What are you...
I have a
Tell me about...
She's a waitress.
Do you have any idea where she could be? Tell me all you know about that homicidal maniac you're looking for.
I'm not even sure there is only one. The wounds are always the same, but the modus operandi varies. Sometimes violent and brutal, sometimes...
How could different killers inflict the same wounds?
That's my main problem. If my theory is correct, maybe we're facing a group of individuals sharing the same violent tendencies. Perhaps a sadist cult.
What are you...
I have a
Tell me about...
She's a waitress.
Do you have any...
No.
What are you...
I have a missing woman. Possibly...
Tell me...
No.
Do you know anything in particular about a man called Aloysius Dawson?
Who doesn't know the man?
What else?
Aloysius.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. officers to investigate them all, but they will not be forgotten.
Yeah, this is the Temple Church, of course, not the building where I was standing before. It looks a bit bigger here than it really is.
Red river, a song in the dark as the sun. So many signs to interpret.
It's locked.
Jonathan Reed. At last we meet. The cards warned me you would visit tonight.
I beg your pardon, sir. Do I know you?
Of course you do. Our mutual friend, Dr. Swansea, can't speak highly enough of you. My name is Usher. Usher Talltree.
You are the leader of the Brotherhood, are you not?
Primate of the Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole, to be precise. I'm really glad we met tonight. I love it when the cards tell me a truth.
The cards told you to expect me.
Yes, they can tell me everything. They told me that you are a new Ekon who relishes his blood diet.
How do you measure the amount of blood on my hands?
I told you. The cards always tell the truth. Well, most of the time.
Is it possible to tell me my future?
A vampire's fate is much more delicate to read, Doctor. But I can try.
All right. Let me hear it.
Your heart will bleed back all the blood you drank, but it will not put out the fire your treachery has lit.
I would rather not know. How do you measure the amount of blood on my hands?
I told you. The cards always tell the truth. Well, most of the time.
Is it possible to tell me my future?
A vampire's fate is much more delicate to read, Doctor. But I can try.
May I ask you about the Brotherhood?
Of course. But I must warn you that there are some subjects we consider taboo, in spite of our fondness and acceptance of your kind.
I know there is no love lost between the Guard of Priwen and the Brotherhood. What caused this rift?
It was 1801. The Brotherhood was stronger then. That made them hungry for ever greater power. An argument divided them, and the wound never healed.
What was the nature of the disagreement?
The problem was that both sides considered themselves the legitimate heirs of the original Brotherhood. We divide up the books, the relics, not always fairly or with consideration.
Who founded the Brotherhood?
That's precisely the kind of question I cannot answer. It is delicate, and may reveal some of our secret traditions.
So you're not just a club of academics and scholars?
Once upon a time, very long ago, the Brotherhood did more than simply study the vampires. They took actions to eliminate the more ferocious and corrupted.
What can you tell me about the neighborhood?
I really don't know. I don't often go outside. And when I do, it's usually to quite distant destinations.
So you see nothing in the stars for me? You're a poor fortune teller, then?
Oh, I can tell you many things. But they will only concern you, not the city. For example, I know that you offered your sister the final rest she asked for.
Read my fortune, then.
You have been chosen, Jonathan. I see on you the mark of a strong being, so powerful it needn't even reveal its strength.
Read my fortune, then.
You have been chosen, Jonathan. I see on you the mark of a strong being, so powerful it needn't even reveal its strength.
Do the cards speak of my Mary?
No. It's the burning aura of guilt that precedes you everywhere you go.
Tell me about yourself. What do you do here, besides turning cards in the middle of the night?
I'm for most a charlatan. For a few, I'm a vampire. And for you, I'm the primate of St. Paul's Stole.
Some believe you to be a vampire. Who?
The Guard of Priwen, who else? For a time, they sent spies to observe my activities, and they even broke into my home to gather proof.
Did they steal anything from you?
A personal notebook they quickly took to their headquarters. All they had to do is to look at me. I'm aging. What better and definite proof that I'm not an immortal?
Do you want your notebook back?
If you ever find it, I'd be glad to have it back, of course.
For how long have you been a primate?
It was 15 years last year.
What do you make of Dr. Swansea?
Edgar is a brilliant and dedicated man. A man of his time, sometimes a little muddled, but always looking for new paths and new concepts.
Can you read the cards for me?
Are you sure you want to know what they will reveal?
Yes, I am.
It will cost you 150 shillings.
Here is the money.
The snake. A bitter woman, smiling as she pours poison in your cup. A shaming betrayal. Hate.
Can you read the...
Put the money on the table then, Jonathan, and open your mind.
Here is the money.
The hermit. An old man. A broken soul who has seen too much. The burden of guilt. This man will give up once the disease is defeated.
Is there anything you...
Aloysius Dawson. Yes, of course. We met on several occasions. With time, he got deeper and deeper into the occult.
He's not the only one. It's been quite the fashion for several decades.
True.
How did you learn about Mary? And spare me the hocus-pocus parlor tricks. The truth, now!
Swansea told me. Don't look at me like that. His task is to observe and gather information about vampires. He had to tell me about Mary.
Mary did not deserve her fate. She had already suffered enough during her life. And yet the pain and the suffering went on after her death.
Suffering is part of the immortal condition. Some prefer to lose their minds rather than face the simple truth. Pain will never stop.
Goodbye, sir.
I rarely wander, yet it amuses me to converse with your kind. The Fool and the Empress. Again. What are the cards trying to tell us?
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. Can I be of assistance?
Dr. Reed? Dr. Reed?
Is there anything wrong?
No, it's just... Your name sounds familiar. And your face. Have we met before?
I think I would remember. So I suppose the answer is no.
That's odd. I'm certain I've already heard of you. My name is Pericles Baker. Does that mean anything to you?
I'm afraid not, sir. But it's a pleasure to meet you anyway. Tell me...
We are waiting. Wait.
And why are you waiting?
Because we need to leave this city.
Why do you want to leave the city?
I'm not really sure.
Can you...
As you like asking questions.
Please.
Do you like this city?
I know we are not living in the most peaceful of times, but I have learned to appreciate London's complexity.
Yes, me too. This city tests us.
But what if we don't like?
Do we ever know who we are?
And what...
I stopped work.
But what we...
Does it really matter?
Tell me...
I just...
Who are you waiting for? I'm sure he has a name.
I really can't answer that question, since I don't know that person.
And why is that?
This person is mostly my brother's acquaintance. I don't even know his real name. Oh.
But why would you need this person's help to leave London anyway?
Well, I thought we should have left this cursed place already, but my brother convinced me to stay a while longer, and here we are.
What can you...
I've heard this is...
Goodbye. Good evening, sir.
Yes, please. Would you be kind...
That's all you need to know.
What?
I suppose you're right. And who are you then, sir?
I am Agamemnon Baker.
May I ask?
I don't know.
You must have...
From what I have
What can you...
It's the only place I've considered my...
Why is that?
Because I'm not...
What kind of question is that? What am I supposed to answer, exactly?
The truth. And I believe you just did it, actually.
May I ask?
I believe...
What can...
He's older than me.
Is that all?
Peric...
What can you...
He's older than me. I think. But the important thing is that I really hope I'll die before him. Grief would just kill me, you know?
Is that all?
Pericles is very attached to this.
Who are you waiting for, exactly?
The more I think about it, the more I believe it's not exactly a person we are waiting for.
But what else could it be, then?
I don't know. A feeling? An event? An impulse? How can I tell?
Trap? And you think...
At least it will...
I'm afraid...
Have you ever felt like life trapped you in a role?
What can you...
You should ask that question to my brother instead. Personally, I've not seen Aloysius for many...
Goodbye. Good evening. What can you tell...
I've heard this is a man who has searched for his place in the world for a long time. I hope he found it.
Pericles, tell me why your brother disagrees with your presence here.
Agamemnon is naive sometimes. Although don't consider him a fool, sir. He is often more lucid than me.
At least you both have the same difficulty explaining what you're doing, and for what reason.
But is that not a common problem for all mortals?
What can you tell me about your brother?
If you are searching for a pleasant chat, you should speak with him instead of wasting your time.
That's it? That...
For the time being.
Goodbye.
Hello,
Goodbye. It's locked.
It's a leech! Kill it! I'll send you to hell!
Last time we could just go there. I guess it was a game acting weird because it's never happening like this, but last time we could just check, go through them, they did not attack, everything's alright.
Good evening, old chap. These are the documents you wanted me to look for. I think I've gathered all the available occult research about vampires.
Oh, thank you, Johnny. That'll help me separate the myths from the facts.
I'm not sure you can consider this material factual, but it's yours now. What do you intend to do with it?
First, I'm going to show them to Venus. It'll open her eyes and make her understand the importance of my mission.
You need... Good evening.
I won't...
Venus is poisoning you, Clarence. She wants you dead.
So she really hates me that much now. My poor wife. I had no idea my research would drive her to such extremes.
I'm sorry, Clarence.
Why would you tell me that? First you returned from the dead, and now you tell me my wife is trying to murder me.
You're a stupid bastard, but you're my friend, Clarence. And I don't have many left. I don't want you to die. Not like that.
But I love her. I love my wife. Did I make her suffer that much? Have I become such a burden?
So you have no suspicions about her at all? Nothing in Venus's behavior has seemed odd since you returned?
Frankly, it's my behavior that's been odd. Ever since I got back from the war, she accuses me of being paranoid and delusional.
What can you tell me about Aloysius' daughter?
Well, I've discovered he's quite versed in occult knowledge. So I wrote him a letter asking him to finance my research about vampires. He never responded.
You need some rest, Clarence. Hello, Venus.
Hello, Jonathan. Please, come in. I'm so sorry for your loss, Jonathan. What do you need?
Did Clarence recently show you documents that prove the existence of vampires?
Yes, he did. And he also told me you spent a few nights gathering research for him. Seriously, Jonathan. Why feed his obsession like that?
He's my friend. I thought it might help him rest, instead of going outside at night. Tell me, what are your thoughts about vampires?
Gibberish and poppycock. Dracula was a good book, but these documents were just mumbo-jumbo. I burnt them all as soon as Clarence went outside again. At least you... What do you...
Why are you poisoning your husband?
He has spent a fortune printing his bloody papers. I can't stand this nightmare anymore. We are the butt of everyone's jokes since he returned.
If you're so frustrated by Clarence's behavior, why don't you just leave him?
I have already lost the best years of my life because of him. I will not jeopardize my future for some lunatic. He goes, and I inherit what's left.
I cannot let you kill your husband, Venus. This madness is more insane than his obsession.
What are you going to do? Report me to the police? I did my research too, Dr. Reed. The substance I use is undetectable.
Don't press your luck.
And did you see Clarence's state of mind? What would become of him if left alone?
Why do you and your husband argue so much?
He is not the kind man I married and loved. He is obsessed now. Obsessed with chimeras. I feel trapped. It just makes me want to scream.
Goodbye for now.
You know... What do you need from me, Jonathan? danced with you at my wedding, Jonathan. What have you become?
This music every time when you embrace someone. Making you feel guilty and everything. But the bitch had to go. She was poisoning our friend. So now she knows about vampires. Where's the cabinet, man? Yeah. Oh. Wow.
Good evening, old chap. Are you all right?
I won't lie to you, Johnny.
You need...
Women died!
Good evening.
And
Goodbye.
She's been quite busy.
I must go.
is no place for you. Die, beast!
Yeah, you kill one person, suddenly everyone gets sick, you motherfuckers. Okay, I guess I'm going offline now. I wanted to check out Eloise Dawson, but maybe I have to speak to some people before that. Hey, what's this? What's he doing here? Oh, wrong side of town. Oh, so let's check it out later. Guess I might be back tomorrow, so maybe until then.